I'm just a talking and a talking and a talking until I freaking realized that it was never freaking recording. Oh well, it was a pretty fucking awful video start anyway, so I was mumbling and muttering and trying to get my words out that I'm feeling 4 divine masculines on me and in my aura field at the moment. And how I think the Schumann resonance, whatever that is, must be really spiking over the last few days, especially because the spiritual energies have been kind of whack. And I have been within so many different fucking spiritual fucking visions and missions within the last week alone that I'm so freaking exhausted. I am exhausted and they never stop. It's like, no. You need to work on my goddamn time for once. Fuck. But anyway, I'm feeling these masculines and I feel like really pulled to get a message on tape, on video, you know, because it's a channeled message, duh. I don't know, but usually I feel this kind of stuff a lot, but over the last few weeks it's been more dramatic and less livable through. So when they get less livable through, that means you need to record them because they're channeled, which means they need to go out to the collective, right? So basically, this is what I did. I figured I'd do something new, and I pulled my cards out this time instead of my normal just feeling and writing it down and whatnot. And I got 3 cards in one drop, and they fell on top of each other. And then I got the Hermit card sideways. And the Hermit sideways for me is just like this person was stuck in the in-between. These people were stuck in the in-between. They were lost in a void. And they were either being sucked out by your love, or your love helped suck them out at some point. Or maybe it's taking years for this person to even speak to you, and then all of a sudden they're begging you to speak to them again because they've been pulled out of this void. Like they were stuck in the in-between. Meaning they were living, but it wasn't them living. It's like being in almost complete state of disassociation where your consciousness isn't in your body 90% of the time. Your consciousness, and what I perceive to be in this kind of situation, is kind of like stuck in the ethers. And while it's stuck in the fucking ethers, there's a body jumper, an entity that's jumping in to the body. And it's not always presented in the real life as it's presented in movies, although it can look that way all lumped together. Usually it's spread out and within long periods of time, so that the people within these people's lives always second guess themselves and each other. Like, oh, maybe, you know, maybe this person's just having a bad time right now. Like, they need some slack, or, you know, fuck, they're tired, you know. It's like the people in these, the entities within these bodies at the time weren't these people. These people's consciousness were stuck in a void. Something within their lives unscrewed the portal lid and they got sucked in and didn't know how to get out. So at the moment, I'm feeling 4 masculines within my life. Like, I have their images when I feel the energy of the images of 4 masculines in my life. And at this one time, and I'm getting this strong message that, well, first off, the cards that I pulled were competition, debates, rivalry, conflict, disagreement, strife, tension, territorial, chasing egos, and petty. And the death card, endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transition, metamorphosis, end of cycle. And then we get the King of Wands, a natural leader, a visionary, an entrepreneur, big picture leader, overcoming challenges, mature, career focused. And then don't forget the Hermit card sideways. These masculines were stuck in a void and didn't know how to get out. They got pulled in outside of their control, and something within that void was keeping them there. And the other energies within this void didn't know how to save themselves, let alone anybody else, because they were all afraid. They were all lost. And now they can't be with their separate divine feminines in this lifetime. And there are some of us that are being called to bring them closer somehow. It might depend differently for each different person, but Spirit is asking us to open our hearts, minds, and souls and our spaces and allow these other masculines within your space so that you can be united with all 4 of them and maybe the one that you're with currently. And you guys can all draw from each other and each other's life energies. Because without you, these masculines won't be able to not only fulfill their soul mission, but they'll start to dissipate. And maybe you are feeling like no matter what, something isn't there, something's not enough. What can be done differently, right? Maybe it's that you need more people to pull from. I really didn't want to go this far into this message, but of these divine masculines pretty much confessing, I guess, to them being stuck within a void and not fully being present in their life, or hardly ever present in their life, or whatever, right? And how I was feeling like these masculines saying that they were either being pulled out of this void or they just got out of the void, you know what I mean? And Spirit's asking me to tell you guys that yes, that message is correct, and it's for a portion, a collective within the collective. And there's another message of some of them don't want this message out. While, yes, there are that whole collective, that whole thing is going on, there's another collective where those masculines with that whole situation that was going on is going on, but the masculines within that aren't the ones that are talking. And this collective, it's the body jumpers that are talking. And they want to confuse the energies and confuse you and make it feel like you can feel that old masculine again, like the version of them before they got lost and stuck in this void. The entities within this person, 4 people in this collective, it's the entities that are trying to communicate with you and make you feel like they're not the entity, they are the person, the consciousness that the avatar belonged to. And Spirit says, please do not be tricked. That you will probably know over the next few weeks who's trying to trick you and who's trying to be genuine. Spirit's saying that the entities that are holding this avatar together are smart. They are very intelligent beings. And they know the knowledge of the gods. And they know and have certain tricks or skills and talents to facilitate their will. Do not be fooled. Remember to feel it in your heart. Don't let your brain trick you. Don't let your logic trick you either. But when you are trying to figure out which one is for you, actively go within your heart space. Ask to receive the knowledge that is true and unconditional. I'm starting to feel very anxious. So, the last, I think, part to this message is going to be Spirit saying this as I'm speaking, that even though this can go in different ways, something very similar to what I'm about to say, it could be your situation. So it could either be that the first group's collective message, that those original consciousness within the avatars still existing on your world, that they were stuck in this void, and even though their consciousness was in this void in the spiritual world, their body, their avatar, was still existing and living, but only with entities occupying the body to keep it moving. And the decisions and stuff from these entities were what you were seeing. And although there are two collectives and you have to check into your heart to see which one you're in, there is the other collective where the avatars with the body jumpers within it are trying to trick certain people into thinking that it's the situation of number one, when in reality this situation within number one happened. There's no longer that consciousness of that person existing in this world. So the body of those original consciousness is still here, and it's still holding these other entities, but the consciousness of that avatar, for some, has no option of coming back. They've completely got stuck in the void, and the entities within that person's body is just trying to trick you into thinking it's the message of number one. But on the other side of that, the entities aren't trying to trick you in this particular way. The consciousness is either back or coming back very soon, but Spirit's trying to warn you that without the strings or cords of that person's original consciousness in this world, they wouldn't be able to continue existing. So if their consciousness is stuck within a spiritual void, imagine they're just seeing blackness, right? Their consciousness just sees blackness, thinks they're sleeping, right? But the reason why they can still come back from that blackness is because a piece, a string, or a cord of their consciousness is being held within your body. You have kept the possibility of that person being able to come back into their body because you've been carrying them and giving them your life force energy. You might still crave these people in some type of way, or maybe you're just asking yourself, what if I did this? What if I did that? That's keeping them alive on you. Their string or cord is literally in your body, stuck to you, and you are giving it battery to remain. And if you decide at any point that that is no longer even a smidge of possibility, that string or whatever is going to fall off of you and most likely disintegrate for this world. Remember, energy is always flowing, never staying the same, and it's never created or destroyed. So it's still going to be a consciousness. It just doesn't have the possibility to come back into this existence with you now. Does that make sense, guys?